Yes.
This is Professor Angela Ofori,
wife of Ken Ofori.
Interesting detail in there. But then again, it also brings into perspective the position that the special prosecutor has taken with regards to that virtual option, because she speaks about it in this interview as well, is it not? That the lawyers of Ken Ofori has made it quite clear that they don't want him or his recovery to be the reason why this investigation will stall. And so the virtual option should be explored. I put this question to Sammy Darko, who is head of strategy, communications, and research at the Office of Special Prosecutor, and he explains why, regardless of this detail, they still need Ken Ofori Atta in person, physically. Take a look. Lawyer Sammy Darko is joining us on the telephone, but it was trying to get him on Zoom, but we couldn't connect. As the United States
investigation will be aware. I would like to address a little confusion in the minds of, I think, lawyers in particular. You know, some lawyers are treating Mr. Ofori as if he's an accused person, which means that Mr. Ofori has been charged, or let me begin with that. He has been arrested and charged. So they will talk about why the OSP not taking advantage of mutual legal assistance program and go and do video conferencing, blah, blah. The OSP is aware of all these things, but these things are used when a person has been arrested, charged, and placed before a court. As we speak, Mr. Ofori has not been arrested by any law enforcement agency. So the suggestion that we could take Mr. Ofori by Zoom may not apply, because we cannot arrest a person through Zoom. We cannot take a caution statement from a suspect through Zoom, because the only time you can take a caution statement is when the person has been placed under arrest properly, so-called.
Right.
And let me also address the little issue about trying absentia. If you study our constitution very well, Article 19.3 details how trying absentia should happen. And the conditions are about two. It says that when a person, an accused, when you say an accused, it means that you have been arrested, charged, has a disruptive behavior, like that placing before the court will disrupt proceedings. Or if the person, having been charged, that is, the accused, being placed before court, elects not to come to court at all. So there's a popular case called Kwache, that is the Republic, which is like the case on it even ended at Court of Appeal. The whole idea is that the person must be tried in his presence, unless that person facing trial elects to say, I don't want to attend the trial, right? But we also do know that, so that's why it will even take international court. And it's the same principle across international court of human rights matters. If you take the ICC, for instance, why do you think that they issue arrest warrants for people and put them on Interpol, heads of state, former heads of state? Why? Because they could try them in absentia. So why don't they try them in absentia? But they still insist that they should have been arrested and brought. So if you say Slovak, Milan Slovak, one of the presidents, after he had been arrested and placed before the ICC, he then elected and said, I won't come to court again. Then they decided to try him in absentia.
Well, that's something that I clearly explaining why, regardless of this detail and how things played out, that earlier interview I had with him when all of this was playing out, that the OSP and now we know other security agencies are also interested in Ken Ofori Atta's physical presence. Well, there's some new information from Sammy Darko himself. He posted this on social media. What do we know?
Yes, so soon after the information came out regarding Ken Ofori Atta's latest health status, Sammy Darko, Director of Strategy and Communications at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, posted this on his Facebook page. He says that you may choose to distort facts or shift the goalposts, but the truth remains, as of today, Mr. Ofori Atta has not produced any certified medical report or flight risk assessment from his personal or attending physicians or hospital indicating that he is incapacitated or unable to travel. He was given the opportunity to appear before law enforcement between February and June 2, 2025, but failed or refused to do so. Notably, he did not undergo any surgery on 21st or 22nd March 2025, despite a statement from his medical coordinator, widely circulated online, suggesting otherwise. Furthermore, has Mr. Ofori not traveled in and out of the UK or USA between March and 31st May 2025? He's asking.
That's the question he's asking.
If he is able to fly internationally, what prevented him from appearing before law enforcement?
Is that to suggest that the OSP has some information that Ofori has flown between this period internationally, but not to Ghana?
That's what he suggests. And he gives a time frame between March and end of May 2025, asking if he has not traveled in and out of the UK and US.
This is a question that the OSP must obviously give us some detail to, Dennis, is it not? Because we don't have the capacity to answer this question.
Not at all. But this appears to be a rhetorical question.
Absolutely. It begs for a lot of answers, but I appreciate you as always. Dennis Pobere with Esquire. Stay with me. But Martin Kpebu is private legal practitioner, has been following this quite closely. Counsel, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Now we have some updates to Ken Ofori's possible return. His wife says he's undergone the surgery successfully on Friday. All things being equal, if all things go well, as she put it, the recovery period is going to be 3 months, if all things go well. I mean, listening to this detail, how does all of this influence how this case is going to play out in the coming days?
It's still the same bad faith that has clouded this attempt by Ofori to get a further extension. Okay, so the bad faith he exercised when he was seeking the postponement in February has caught up with him. So you see that now there is very little sympathy for his case. Let me explain further. So you know that around February 18th, yes, he was declared wanted on 12th, right? About, and then removed, I think, about 18 February. Now in the negotiations to remove him, Ofori's letter said that he was going to go through possible surgical procedure, a possible surgical procedure on 20th and 21st March, right? Now, it turned out that that particular one was a diagnostic biopsy. So it's a biopsy to check if there was cancer. So it's not this major surgery as it was made out to look like. So once he wasn't doing a major surgery, he needed to reach out to the OSP because remember, he was given a long time, relatively from February, he was given the adjournment to 2nd June. So he had the whole of March, the whole of April, the whole of May, 3 months, and he was to meet the OSP on the 2nd of June. All of this was because the sickness was made out to look far bigger, right? So if there wasn't going to be a major surgery on 20th and 21st March, he needed to have disclosed that to the OSP and seen how the OSP could make further arrangement. Maybe he could come down to Ghana to do the interviews before returning for his 13th June surgery, right? So, yes, the wife is saying he's gone through surgery successfully. Yes, I don't want to comment on that, but I'm saying that the steps, the bad faith, the Ofori, leading to his surgery is what will haunt him for a long time to come, because you had a diagnostic surgery, not a major surgery. Diagnosis, I mean, it's not any complex surgery, yet you took a long time. He, Ofori, when I say you, I mean he, Ofori, took 3 months in all, only to go through diagnostic surgery. So the wife's interview hasn't advanced his case much. I don't see how it advances the case. And you see, when it even came to the critical fact about what happened 20th 21st March, etc. She said they always knew that before the diagnostic surgery, this biopsy, okay, that if it turned out that he had prostate cancer, they will require a major surgery later on. That they always knew there would be a major surgery after the biopsy on 20th, 21st March if it turned out that he had the cancer. So that is what they were supposed to disclose early. Then they would negotiate well with the OSP. But to have hidden it, they didn't say what exactly it was. The letter, please, if you have it, please put it up. The February letter, you say that they say possible surgical intervention. You see, when you put surgical intervention, everybody's mind is on a major surgery, not a biopsy. Not a biopsy, please. Not a biopsy. So now, Ofori is lost us. The only saving grace he has, and that's not even, I think saving grace is not the right word in this context. Well, so let's just say that let's say that offer that they should interview him via this a virtual interview is what seems to give a bit of credibility to his case. But that offer is not sufficient to undo that failure of a major disclosure to the OSP, that failure to disclose to the OSP what exactly was going to happen on 20th and 21st March. So it's not enough. You know, in times past, I have said yes. I think the OSP should have taken that offer. They could have gotten the Americans to arrest. When we say arrest, not like arrest and bring him to Ghana. Arrest as a technical term. That's an officer will go there, touch him, and perform the procedures for arrest so that they could caution him. They say you are under arrest for using public office for private gain, as an example. Anything you say, blah, 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 will be taken down, blah, 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 and used in a court of law. All those things, read his rights and all those to him, just for the purpose of taking the statement. And then they will let him continue to be in America. So, yes, I said that Kisi Ejabe should have also taken that offer. But the fact that he didn't take that offer is not an excuse for what Ofori did. Failure to disclose what exactly he was going to do on 20th and 21st March, the way they said it was going to be possible surgery. And the surgery in this context, please, my emphasis is on the word context. In this context, it meant a major surgery, big one. That's how come he was given more time. No, Kisi Ejabe wouldn't have given him all this time if he knew it was going to be a biopsy, where they were going to, yes, cut him a bit, even the surgical one, and take tissue. Nobody would take 3 months for such a relatively simple surgery. So really, the offer of the Zoom interview, etc., is not sufficient to undo the bad faith he exercised by not disclosing to the OSP exactly what would happen on 20th and 21st March.